The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. In September 1995, a Woodsboro woman was brutally murdered. 1 year later, someone is going to take their love of scary movies one step too far. Chapter 1. Want to play a game? The telephone rings. Casey Becker reaches for it, bringing the receiver to her face. She's a young girl, no more than 16, a friendly face with innocent eyes. Hello? A man with a nearly attractive voice answers, "Hello?" Silence. Confused, she replies, "Yes?" "Who is this?" questions the unknown caller. "Who are you trying to reach?" "What number is this?" "What number are you trying to reach?" "I don't know." "I think you have the wrong number." "Do I?" "It happens. Take it easy." Click. She hangs up the phone. Casey stands in her living room alone. She moves from the living room to the kitchen. It's a big country home with a huge sprawling lawn full of big oak trees. It sits alone with no neighbors in sight. The phone rings again. "Hello? I'm sorry, I guess I dialed the wrong number." "So why did you dial it again?" "To apologize." "You're forgiven. Bye now." Wait, don't hang up." Casey stands in front of a sliding glass door. It's pitch black outside. "What?" Casey says, taken off guard. "I want to talk to you for a second." "They've got 900 numbers for that. See ya." Click. Casey hangs up, a grin on her face. Popcorn sizzles on the stove. The phone rings. "Hello? Why don't you want to talk to me?" "Who is this?" "You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine." "I don't think so." Casey says, shaking the popcorn. "What's that noise?" Casey smiles, playing along innocently. "Popcorn." "You're making popcorn?" "Uh-huh. I only eat popcorn at the movies." "I'm getting ready to watch a video." "Really? What?" "Just some scary movie." "Do you like scary movies?" "Uh-huh." "What's your favorite scary movie?" He's flirting with her. Casey moves away from the stove and takes a seat at the kitchen counter, directly in front of the glass door. "I don't know," Casey answers. "You have to have a favorite." Casey thinks for a second. Halloween. You know, the one with the guy with the white mask who just sort of walks around and stalks babysitters. What's yours?" "Guess." Nightmare on Elm Street. Is that the one where the guy had knives for fingers?" "Yeah, Freddy Krueger." "Freddy, that's right." "I liked that movie. It was scary." "The first one was, but the rest sucked." "So, you got a boyfriend?" Casey giggles. "Why, you want to ask me out?" "Maybe." "Do you have a boyfriend?" "No." "You never told me your name." Casey smiles, twirling her hair. "Why do you want to know my name?" "Because I want to know who I'm looking at." "What did you say?" Casey springs around like lightning, facing the glass door. "I want to know who I'm talking to." "That's not what you said." "What do you think I said?" Casey clicks on the outside light. A floodlight illuminates the backyard. Her eyes survey the grounds, but it's empty. No one's there. She turns the light out. On the stove, the popcorn pops. "I have to go now." "Wait, I thought we were gonna go out." "Nah, I don't think so." "Don't hang up on me. Don't." Click. Casey hangs up. She checks the glass door, making sure it's locked, and then moves to the stove as the phone rings. She slides the popcorn from the stove, reaching for the phone. Annoyed, Casey answers, "Yes?" "I told you not to hang up on me." "What do you want?" "To talk." "Dial someone else, okay?" "You getting scared?" "No. Bored." Click. She hangs up. The phone rings again. She grabs it. "Listen, asshole!" "No, you listen, you little bitch. If you hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish. Understand?" Total silence. He has gotten her full attention. Is this some kind of joke? More of a game, really. Casey eyes the glass doors, then looks up the hallway to the front door, moving to it. It's unlocked. She bolts it. "I'm 2 seconds from calling the police." They'd never make it in time. Casey moves, her face flush against the door, her eye looking through the peephole. All she sees is a distorted view of the front porch. It is empty. She relaxes a bit, relieved. "What do you want?" "To see what your insides look like." Casey's jaw drops as total fear storms her face. She hangs up the phone, throwing it down on a side table when the doorbell chimes. Casey leaps out of her skin. She turns to the door as it chimes again. "Who's there?" Another chime. She moves toward it. "Who's there?" Casey asks louder. No answer. Fuck this. It's time for the police. She goes for the portable phone. Just as she picks it up, it rings. Casey almost drops it, losing her breath. She brings it to her ear, with trembling hands, saying nothing, listening, waiting. A long silence, and then, "You should never say who's there. Don't you watch scary movies? It's a death wish." Casey clutches the wall, nearly collapsing. She tries her damnedest to hang tough. "Look, enough is enough. You had your fun now. You better leave me alone or else what?" Casey's mind's thinking, calculating. "My boyfriend will be here any second and he'll be pissed when I tell him." "I thought you didn't have a boyfriend." Busted. She holds steady. "I lied. I do have a boyfriend and he'll be here any second and your ass better be gone." "Sure. I swear it. He's big and he plays football and he'll kick the shit out of you." I'm shaking in my boots. "I'm telling the truth. I believe you. So you better leave." "His name wouldn't be Steve, would it?" Silence. Casey buckles at the knees, losing it. "How do you know his name?" "Go to the back door and turn on the patio light." Again. Casey, terrified, forces herself to move, staggering into the kitchen, to the glass doors. Her shaky hand finds the light switch. She hits it. The backyard is lit. Sitting in a lawn chair in the middle of the backyard is a big linebacker of a guy. Her boyfriend, Stephen Orth. Tied and gagged. He's been roughed up, but he's alive. His eyes wide in fear. Staring at his girlfriend, pleading with her. "Oh, God!" Casey screams. Her hand moves to the lock on the door. "I wouldn't do that if I were you." Terror rides Casey's face. She's petrified. "Where are you?" "Guess." Her eyes search the yard, combing bushes, trees. He could be anywhere. Anywhere. "Please don't hurt him," Casey begs. "That all depends on you." "Why are you doing this?" Tears find their way, streaming down Casey's face. "I want to play a game." "No." "Then he dies right now." "No!" "Which is it?" A long silence. Casey touches the glass, staring at Steve. He's crying too. "What kind of game?" "Turn off the light." Her hand goes to the switch. Steve tugs and pulls at his straps, as if begging her, his face sweat and tears. Click. He disappears in the darkness. Casey moves away from the glass, back toward the living room, unbelieving, horrified. "Here's how we play. I ask a question. If you get it right, Steve lives." 3 curtainless windows line one wall. Casey crouches down behind the couch, ripping a lamp cord from its socket, darkening the room. Her body quivers. "Please don't do this." "Come on, it'll be fun." "No, please. It's an easy category. Movie trivia. Please." "I'll even give you a warm-up question." "Don't do this. I can't." "Name the killer in Halloween." "No." "Come on. It's your favorite scary movie, remember?" "He had a white mask. He stalked the babysitters." Casey goes silent, a nervous wreck. She can barely speak, much less think. "I don't know." "Come on. Yes, you do." "Please stop," Casey sobs. "What's his name?" "I can't think." Casey has reached hysteria, petrified beyond all reality. "Steve's counting on you." Suddenly, through tears, God sent. Michael Myers." "Yes!" Casey sighs, relieved. "Now for the real question." "No." "But you're doing so well. Please go away. Leave us alone." "Then answer the question. Same category." Casey is blubbering, wet mess on the floor. "Please no." "Name the killer in Friday the 13th. A mad smile purses Casey's lips. She knows this. She leaps up through tears, screaming, "Jason! Jason! Jason!" A slight pause. "I'm sorry. That's the wrong answer." "No, it's not. It was Jason." "Afraid not." "No way." "It was Jason. I saw that goddamn movie 20 times. It was Jason." "Then you should know Jason's mother, Mrs. Voorhees, was the original killer. Jason didn't show up until the sequel." Casey is stupefied. "You tricked me." "Lucky for you, there's a bonus round. But poor Steve, I'm afraid he's out." The implication sends Casey running to the kitchen, to the glass doors. She flips the patio light to see Steve, eyes wide, sitting in the lawn chair, his belly gaping open, a mass of blood and ripped flesh. His insides lay on the ground between his feet, steam rising. A scream erupts from the bottom of her soul as Casey collapses to the floor, nearly passing out. Pale and ghostly white, she sobs. "Final question. Are you ready?" She doesn't answer. A long, maddening silence. Casey reaches up and clicks off the light, making Steve go away. Wishing, hoping, "Leave me alone, please." "Answer the question and I will." Casey is curled up on the floor like an infant, rocking slowly back and forth. "What door am I at?" What? There are 2 doors to your house, a front door and a back one. If you answer correctly, you live. From where Casey sits, she can see both front and back doors. She deliberates. With her last bit of strength, she tries to strategize, eyeing both the front door, the back door, trying to decide between the 2. Don't make me, I can't, I won't. Your call. In the darkness, Casey crawls to the kitchen counter. She leans up and grabs a long, sharp knife. She looks around her, down the hall to the front door, then turns back to the kitchen glass door as it suddenly shatters to bits as a lawn chair comes flying through it. Exploding glass sprays everywhere. This incites Casey like fire. She springs to her feet, bolting out of the kitchen as a shadow moves quickly through the shattered door frame. Back flat against a window, listening to feet on crackling glass, Casey turns and unlocks the latch, quietly sliding it up. She can hear the figure move to the foyer, to the front door. Casey lifts herself up and puts her legs through the window. She holds a knife in one hand, the phone in the other. Casey eases out the window, fumbling, dropping the knife back inside the house. She starts to reach for it. Fuck it, she takes off. Casey is at the back corner of the house. She eases along a narrow path between a tall fence and the side of the house. Going for the front yard, she must pass 3 windows. She gets to the first one and peeks in. The figure has pulled open the foyer closet, searching for her. Casey creeps along to the next window. She looks in. The figure is completely on the other side of the room, moving toward the hall that leads to other parts of the house. She moves further along the house, squeezing by hedges, to the 3rd window. She peeks in to see the figure, his face covered with a ghostly white mask, inches from her. His eyes piercing through, soulless. Casey screams bloody murder as a hand crashes through the glass window, grabbing hold of her neck. She beats at him, trying to free herself. Her nails dig into his arm. She retches from side to side, finally breaking free as the hands disappear inside the house. Casey sails around the corner of the house, eyeing the front door. It remains closed. Her eyes cover the sprawling country yard, when suddenly, headlights appear in the distance. Coming down the road towards the house, she recognizes them instantly. Mom and Dad. She tears off across the yard toward them, moving like lightning. The car turns into the driveway. Casey screams, waving madly, rushing by a tree as the ghost masked figure appears. Casey stumbles back, catching her balance. The figure moves on her, arm poised high, a flash of silver, and Casey is struck across the chest. She looks down to see her shirt blossoming red. A look of bewilderment as she drops to one knee. The knife rises again. Casey throws her hand forward, the blade comes down, but it's blocked by the phone still in her hand. She turns, staggering to her parents. They emerge from the parked car. They move to the front door, completely unaware what's happening to their daughter only feet from them. Casey stumbles forward, her parents 10 feet away. She opens her mouth to scream, but no sound resonates. She is beyond words, staggering, swaying, the figure moving behind her. Her parents approach the door. The father discovers the front door ajar, a puzzled look. Casey is right behind them with one arm outstretched. If they'd only turn around. They enter the house and close the door as Casey collapses on the ground, clutching her bloody chest, the figure upon her. The father sees straight back into the kitchen, the shattered patio door. Jesus! What is it? Where's Casey? The mother pleads. The father calling out, Casey? Casey! In a split second, they're both panic-stricken. The father begins searching the house frantically. The mother is hysterical. Casey is dragged by her feet through damp soil, life going fast from her body, her hand still clutching the phone. Back in the house, the mother cries, Where is she? Call the police, answers the father. The mother moves to the phone in the foyer, picks it up. There's no dial tone. She jiggles the base. The father, searching. Casey? Where are you, honey? Call the police, goddammit! The phone's dead. Then the softest, faintest voice is heard. From the phone, Mom. Oh dear God, Casey baby. The slightest breath of whimpering almost from the receiver. She's here, God, I can hear her. Where's my baby? The husband returns to the foyer, finding his wife clinging to the phone. Where is she? I can hear her. Oh, mother of God, I can hear her. The father upturns the living room. Casey! Casey! The mother sobs. Not my daughter. Not my... The husband grabs hold of his wife. Get in the car and drive down to the Mackenzies. The mother throws the front door open and rushes out. The father moves through the house when a scream echoes out, that of his wife. He tears off for the front door. The father rushes out the door to find his wife screaming. His eyes move beyond to a tree in the front yard. His stomach fails him. His dinner rises as he bears witness to the single most horrifying sight he'll ever see. that of his only daughter, as she hangs from a big oak tree, strung up, very much dead, her stomach ripped open. The screams continue. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 2, A PG-13 Relationship. The same night, in a teenage girl's room, neat and pinkish, on the bed, amongst age-old stuffed animals, lie open school books. At the desk, against the wall, sits Sydney Prescott, a young girl of 17, her face glued to the computer monitor in front of her. Her face is sharp and clever with deep, lonely eyes. She's comfortable in a plain flannel nightgown. Her hands are at work when suddenly, crash, a noise behind her. She turns abruptly, eyeing an open window across the room. She moves, stands, and moves toward a scratching sound. Sydney sticks her head out of the window. The late-night wind hits her face as a shadow appears, just to the left of her. A hand reaches out, grabs her, and suddenly a figure is on top of her. Sid screams, pulling away from the figure, breaking free, falling back onto the floor. "Hey, it's me." Sid looks up to see Billy Loomis, a young strapping boy of 17, handsome and alluring, a star quarterback class president type of guy. He sports a smile that could last for days. "Billy, what the—" "I'm sorry, don't hate me." "What are you doing here? You sleep in that?" Billy pulls himself through the window. Whispering, Sydney tells Billy, "My dad's in the other room. I'll only stay a sec." The bedroom door bursts open. The doorknob catches on the open closet door behind it, jamming it, holding it in place. "What's going on in there?" Billy quickly rolls out of sight behind the bed. Sydney unjams the door to see her father, Mr. Prescott, late 40s, a severe presence. A distracted man, nervous and preoccupied. "Are you okay? Can you knock? I heard screaming." "No, you didn't." "No? Well, I'm hitting the sack. My flight leaves first thing in the morning. Now, the expo runs all weekend, so I won't be back till Sunday. There's cash on the table, and I'll be staying at the Raleigh Hilton at the airport," Sid says, finishing his sentence. "There's cash on the table, and I'll be staying at the Raleigh Hilton at the airport," Sid says, finishing his sentence. "So call if you need me." "Got it." He gives the bedroom a quick once-over. "I could have swore I heard screaming." Sydney distracts him, giving him a peck on the cheek. "Have a good trip." "Sleep tight, sweetie." He gives her a wink and pulls the door close. Billy reappears. "Close call." "What are you doing here?" Billy takes a flying leap and lands on the bed. "It just occurred to me that I've never snuck through your bedroom window. Now that it's out of your system, and I was home, bored, watching television, The Exorcist was on, and it got me thinking of you." "Oh, it did?" "Yeah, it was edited for television. All the good stuff was cut out, and I started thinking about us, and how 2 years ago we started off kinda hot and heavy. A nice solid R rating on our way to an NC-17, and now things have changed, and lately we're just sort of edited for television. So you thought you could sneak in my window and we would have a little raw footage?" No, I wouldn't dream of breaking your underwear rule. I just thought we might do some on top of the clothes stuff." She snuggles up next to him, planting a kiss on his lips, passionate and gentle. He, however, responds like a shark, moving on top of her, his hands everywhere as he presses into her. Sydney breaks away. "Time to go, stud bucket." Billy sits up. His heart isn't racing, it's pounding. "See what you do to me?" Sweat has popped out all over his forehead, his breathing heavy. "You know what my dad will do to you?" "Yeah." He moves to the window. She follows. I appreciate the romantic gesture. She gives him a kiss goodnight, sweet and simple. "Hey, about the sex stuff, I'm not trying to rush you, I was only half serious." She kisses him again as he eases through the window. Sydney asks, "Would you settle for a PG-13 relationship?" "What's that?" She pulls her flannel gown open for a split second, flashing her left breast. His mouth drops, open, surprised, shocked. Their eyes meet. They share a smile. "You're just a tease," Billy says abashedly before leaving. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 3, Do You Like to Hunt? It's early morning. Sydney is snuggling her pillow, sleeping peacefully when the radio alarm blasts from the night table, loud enough to wake the dead. Sydney bolts up. "Found brutally murdered," blares from the radio. Click. Sydney, quick with reflexes, shuts it off instantly. A car trunk slams shut outside. Sydney pulls herself out of bed and leans to the window just in time to see her dad jumping in his car. She half waves down to him, but he doesn't see her. He's as good as gone, pulling out of the driveway and disappearing down the road. Sydney stands at the window, staring out after him. Woodsboro High School, home of the Fighting Bulldogs. It's a perfect small-town school, old and charming. Students come and go, moving about. Nothing unusual except for the 6 police cars, 4 news vans, flashing cameras, and crowds of looky-loos gathered just off campus. Sydney approaches the school, seeing the commotion. 4 different reporters stand in front of 4 different cameras, giving 4 different news reports. She moves past a policeman standing guard. Her interest piqued. She stops at the first reporter, who is Gail Weathers, 30s. Her smart face is overshadowed by a flashy smile and a massive mane of chemically enhanced hair. Gail stands stunning for the camera. The small town of Woodsboro, California was devastated last night when 2 young teenagers were found brutally butchered. Authorities have yet to issue a statement, but our sources tell us that no arrest has been made and the murderer could strike again. Sydney is moved, disturbed. From behind, a finger taps her shoulder. She spins around to see Tatum Riley, same age, feisty, carefree. "Do you believe this shit?" asks Tatum. "What happened?" They break away from the crowd and head for the school. "Oh God, you didn't know? Casey Becker and Stephen Orth were killed last night." "No way." "And not just killed, Sid, we're talking splatter movie killed, split open end to end." "Casey Becker? She sits next to me in English." "Not anymore. Her parents found her hanging from a tree. Her insides on the outside." "Do they know who did it?" "Fucking clueless. They're interrogating the entire school. Teachers, students, staff, janitors. They think it's school related?" "They don't know. Dewey said this is the worst crime they've ever seen, even worse than... well, it's bad. They're bringing in the feds. This is big." Sydney looks back at Gail, her face deeply pained. A frumpy old woman, Mrs. Tate, faces her class, her hands clasped together, a tragic look upon her face. "A terrible tragedy, an unbearable loss. It's days like today we need prayer in school." Sydney sits near the rear of the room. The desk in front of her sits vacant. Sydney can't take her eyes off it. The door opens and a student enters with a slip of paper. He hands it to Mrs. Tate. "Sydney, it appears to be your turn, dear." The principal's office is at capacity, wall to wall with police and the likes. Some sit, stand, and lean. Sheriff Burke, a round man in his 50s, wipes the stress from his face. Who's next? A young officer looks at a clipboard. This is Deputy Riley, better known as Dewey. He's in his 20s, handsome in a scrubbed clean, boyish way. "Sydney Prescott," Deputy Dewey tells the sheriff. Burke gestures to bring her in. Principal Hembry, 50s, an old codger of a man wearing a sour face, speaks up. "Sydney Prescott, she was daughter of..." Dewey looks at Hembry. "We all know Sydney, Mr. Hembry." Sheriff Burke asks, "How's she doing?" "She's adjusted well, maintains an A average. You'd never know she..." Hembry stops short, seeing Sydney in the doorway. He rises and seats her. Burke smiles and says, "Hi, Sydney." Sydney replies, "Sheriff Burke." "Dewey?" Dewey shakes his head seriously. "That's Deputy Riley today, Sid." Burke asks, "How is everything?" "Good. And your dad, how's he doing?" "We're fine, thanks." Hembry chimes in. "We'll be brief, Sydney. The police have a few questions they'd like to ask you." Sydney eyes them all nervously. Later, in the school courtyard, students sit at outdoor tables eating lunch. Crowded at one table is the gang. This consists of Sydney, Billy, and Tatum. Next to Tatum sits her boyfriend, Stuart Mocker, with his arms draped across her back. He's a Billy wannabe, almost the jock, almost handsome, almost cool. He tries way too hard. Across the table is the fifth wheel, Randy, a tall and gangly kid with no such Billy-like aspirations, a witty jokester who elevates geek to coolness. Tatum questions the group, "Hunt? Why would they ask you if you like to hunt?" Stu replies, "I don't know, they just did." Randy answers, "Because their bodies were gutted." Sydney flinches. Sternly, Billy says, "Thanks, Randy." Tatum confused, "They didn't ask me if I like to hunt." Stu tells her with a smile on his face, "Because there's no way a girl could have killed them." "That is so sexist. The killer could easily be female. Basic instinct?" Randy retorts, "That was an ice pick, not exactly the same." "Yeah, Casey and Steve were completely hollowed out. Takes a man to do something like that," explains Stu. "Or a man's mentality," Tatum shoots back. Sydney, quiet, almost to herself, says, "How do you gut someone?" All eyes turn to Sydney, a serious silence, and then, "You take a knife?"
and slit him from groin to sternum, Stu says, breaking the silence. Sydney shivers down to her soul. The whole stable looks at Stu. What? She asked. It's called tact, you fuck rag, Billy tells Stu. Sorry. Randy adds, remember in Jaws when they caught the wrong shark at first and Richard Dreyfuss cut it open to look for body parts and all they found was a license plate and all this white milky goo? Stu leans over and socks Randy in the arm. You heard Billy, shut the fuck up. Sydney asks, hey Stu, didn't you used to date Casey? Stu's taken aback, a little off guard. For about 2 seconds. Randy quickly adds, before she dumped him for Steve. Tatum turns to Stu surprised. I thought you dumped her for me. I did, he's full of shit. Randy pushes, and are the police aware you dated the victim? Stu, offended. What are you saying, that I killed her or something? It would certainly improve your high school Q. Tatum leans up against Stu. Stu was with me last night. Oh, before or after he sliced and diced. Tatum, disgusted, asks, fuck you, nutcase, where were you last night? Working, thank you. At the video store, I thought they fired your sorry ass. Twice, Randy smiles. Stu, with a serious tone, looks directly into Randy's eyes. I didn't kill anybody. Billy adds, no one's saying you did. Randy, in a perfect Stu mimic, besides, takes a man to do something like that. Stu laughs, I'm gonna gut your ass in a second. Randy to Stu, did you really put her liver in the mailbox? I hear they found her liver in the mailbox. Tatum, eyeing Sydney, stands up and says, Randy, you goon fuck, I'm eating here. Stu nibbles at Tatum's neck. Yeah, Randy, she's getting mad. I think you better leave her alone. Stu cracks up at his own joke. The others throw stuff at Stu. Sydney is about to crawl out of her skin, trying to ignore it all. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 4. Hello, Sydney. A huge 2-story country home with a spacious lawn. A school bus stops in front of the house, and Sydney steps off. The house looks big and lonely as Sydney moves up the walk to the front door. Sydney stands in her bedroom on the phone. You sure I can stay over? My dad won't be back till Sunday. Tatum on the other end. No prob, I'll pick you up after practice. Tell your mom I said thanks. Yeah. Look, are you okay? It's just, the police and reporters, it brings it all back. I'll be there by 7, I promise. Thanks, Tatum. Later. Sydney hangs up. She takes a seat at her computer and boots it up. She sits in front of staring at the blue screen, her own reflection staring back. Sydney comes down the stairs, her arms carrying a change of clothes, toothbrush, and makeup. She opens the hall closet and pulls a small overnight bag from the top shelf. Moving into the living room, she loads it up, plopping down on the sofa, turning the TV on. A news reporter fades in. The entire nation was shocked today by the teen murders in California. Sydney switches the channel. The State Bureau of Investigation has joined forces with local authorities to help catch what the governor has called the most heinous. Sydney switches the channel. Gail Weathers appears, standing in front of the school, her white teeth gleaming. This is not the first time the small town of Woodsboro has endured such tragedy. Only a year ago, Maureen Prescott, wife and mother, was found raped and murdered. An old snapshot fills the screen. A woman, beautiful and familiar. Sydney's eyes frozen, mesmerized by the image. She clicks the TV off. Her eyes go to the clock on the end table. 5:45. Her eyes move to the framed photo next to it. The same photo stares at her. A healthy, vibrant woman. An older version of Sid. Sydney curls up on the sofa, closing her eyes tight. The blazing California sun sets behind the sprawling mountains. The clock on the end table reads 8:15. Sydney is fast asleep on the couch. The phone rings. Sydney leaps up, grabbing the phone. Tatum, from the phone. Practice ran late, I'm on my way. Sydney eyes the clock. It's past 7. Don't worry, Casey and Steve didn't bite it till way after 10. I'm not worried. Good, because I want to swing by the video store and get us something. I was thinking Tom Cruise and all the right moves. If you pause it just right, you can see his penis. Whatever, just hurry. Bye. Sid hangs up the phone. It immediately rings again. Tatum, just get in the car and... From the other side. Hello, Sydney. It's him. The voice from before. Hi, who is this? You tell me. Sydney thinks, trying to place his voice. It sounds a little distorted. I have no idea. Scary night, isn't it? With the murders and all, it's like right out of a horror movie or something. Randy, you gave yourself away. Are you calling from work? Tatum's on her way over. Do you like scary movies, Sydney? I like that thing that you're doing with your voice, Randy. It's sexy. What's your favorite scary movie? Don't start. I don't watch that shit. And why is that? Sydney playing along. Because they're all the same. It's always some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted whore who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting. A brief silence. Are you alone in the house? That is so unoriginal. You disappoint me, Randy. Maybe that's because I'm not Randy. So who are you? The question isn't who am I? The question is where am I? So where are you? Your front porch. This gives her pause. She moves to the window and pulls aside the drapes. Why would you be calling me from my front porch? That's the original part. Oh yeah? Well, I call your bluff. Sydney goes to the front door. She unlocks the bolt, unsnags the chain, and pulls the door open, revealing the front porch. Completely empty. She steps out onto it, phone still in hand. A single light shines overhead, illuminating the porch, but little beyond. Darkness is all around. So where are you? Right here. Sydney peers out into the darkness past thick shrubs that grow on either side of the porch. Can you see me right now? Uh-huh. Okay, what am I doing? She sticks her finger up her nose, pretending to pick. Silence. No answer. Good try, Randy. Tell Tatum to hurry up. Bye now. If you hang up on me, you'll die just like your mother. Sydney stops dead in her tracks, speechless. Do you want to die, Sydney? Your mother sure didn't. His seriousness unnerves her. She flies off the handle. Fuck you, cretin. She hangs up on him. Moves back inside the house, locks, chains, and bolts the door when a figure comes leaping out of the hall closet, rushing her, ramming into her side. The phone flies. The figure is on top of her as she goes down screaming. She looks up to see the figure, darkly, dressed with a pale, distorted face, white and ghostly, a mask. Her instincts surface, and she kicks up with her foot, making contact with her groin. The figure topples over, coming right at her, his hand finding her neck. A long, silver blade appears above her. Sydney pulls, jerks, twists. Finally, she lifts her torso forward, knocking the figure off her, sending him reeling into the living room. Wasting no time, Sydney leaps to her feet. She moves to the front door, unlocks it, pulls it open. It catches on the chain. Shit! She pushes it closed again. Looking behind her, the figure has risen, knife in hand. Sydney pulls on the chain and then inexplicably turns and runs up the stairs, the figure right behind her. At the upstairs landing, the figure leaps at Sydney, taking hold of her foot. She grabs madly at the wall. Her hands grasp a framed painting, a quiet country home. She rips it from the wall, swinging it behind her. It catches the figure head-on, smashing against their skulls, sending them backwards, tumbling down the stairs. Sydney races to her bedroom. She locks the door shut, then pulls the closet door open, placing the edge right at the doorknob as the figure pounds against the bedroom door, ramming it. It rips open, but the closet door catches it in a vice-like hold. Sydney grabs the desk phone. It's dead, off the hook downstairs. The figure rushes the door several times. The frame splinters but won't give. Sydney is at her computer. She punches at the keypad madly. On the screen, words appear. Fax modem, 911, send. The knife slashes through the cracked door wildly. Help me, killer, 34 Elm Street. Sydney presses send. When it occurs to her, all is quiet. The figure is gone. A fearful silence. She looks around. The only sound, her own rapid, terrified breathing. Stay calm, police en route. Suddenly, a noise at the window. Sydney looks up to see Billy, her boyfriend, staring at her surprised. Oh, Billy, please God. I heard screaming. The door's locked. Are you okay? He's here. He's trying to kill me. Billy pulls himself through the window. As he does, a small black object falls from his dark jeans. It hits the floor as Sydney eyes it. A sleek, compact cellular phone. Sydney stops in her tracks. Their eyes meet. An eternity. A siren is heard in the distance. Sydney bolts. Hey, wait, what's going on? Billy reaches for her. Sydney unlocks the bedroom door and tears out of the room. Sydney nearly falls down the stairs. She rips the chain off the door, pulls it open, coming face to face with the white, ghostly mask. A massive scream erupts from her gut as she finds Dewey, Deputy Riley, holding it. Red lights flash, sirens blast, as car after car surrounds the house. Sydney falls into the safety of Dewey's arms. Minutes later, the yard is a whirlwind of activity. An ambulance, squad cars, cops everywhere. Billy's face smashes against the hood of a police car, his hands being cuffed, his rights being read. Billy screams, I didn't do anything! Sid, where's Sid? Ask her, she'll tell ya! Dewey holds a car door open as Sheriff Burke steps out. We got him, Sheriff, Billy Loomis. Hank Loomis's kid? Oh, Jesus. He's Sid's boyfriend. They approach Billy as he's being placed in a squad car. Sheriff, I didn't do it. Please, call my dad, please! The squad car disappears with Billy as another car comes to a stop in front of the house. Tatum gets out, freaked beyond belief. The sheriff and Dewey storm across the yard.
I was first to respond. What were you doing out here? Drive-by patrol. How is she? She's tough. Have to be, the shit she's gone through. Across the yard sits Sydney, in the back of an ambulance as paramedics check her out. Sheriff Burke and Riley approach. We're seeing a lot of you today. She tries to smile but fails. Dewey gets close to her. You gonna be able to come down to the station and talk to us a bit? Yeah. Tatum appears barreling past an officer. What happened? Oh God! Tatum rushes to her, grabbing hold of her. Dewey to Tatum. What are you doing here? Oh God, Sid, I'm sorry I was late. You can't be here, Tatum. This is an official crime scene. It's okay. She was supposed to pick me up, says Sydney. Her dad's out of town. She's staying with us. Does Mom know? Yes, doofus. 2 news vans come driving up the street. Sheriff Burke sighs. The vultures are coming. Let's get you out of here. A big white news van comes to a stop in front of the house. The side door slides open, and Gale Weathers hops out just in time to see Sydney being escorted to a squad car. I'll be damned. Jumping from the driver's seat is Kenny, Gale's cameraman, a flunky. An earnest young chap on the chubby side. What? Jesus, the camera, hurry! But it's too late. Sydney is as good as gone. Gale sees Tatum moving quickly to her car. Excuse me? Tatum looks up to see Gale Weathers rushing her. Was that Sydney Prescott they took away? Tatum responds, I don't know. Tatum hops in her car, ignoring her. What happened to her? I'm not talking to you. Tatum's car peels out as Kenny comes running up with his camera. Where'd she go? Gale spins around, flashing her pearly whites. Look, Kenny, I know you're about 50 pounds overweight, but when I say hurry, please interpret that as move your fat tub of lard ass now! Gale moves back to the van, leaving Kenny miffed. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 5, Nothing's Like It Used to Be. A small town station, the bullpen is a little square room with 4 desks, and tonight, it's hopping. Cops everywhere. Sydney sits at a desk, drinking a cup of water. She wears Dewey's jacket over her shoulder as he approaches. Sydney asks, Did you reach my dad? You sure it was the Hilton? At the airport. He's not registered. Could he have gone to another hotel? I don't know, I guess. We'll find him, Sid. Don't worry. Sydney stares blankly, numb. In the sheriff's office, Billy sits opposite Sheriff Burke. Next to Billy sits his father, Hank Loomis, an older version of Billy. What are you doing with a cellular phone, son? Mr. Loomis answers, It's my phone. He was just playing around with it. You got some idea of playing around, boy. Billy pleads, I didn't call anyone with it. I just took it for fun. Everybody's got one now. Why don't you check the phone bill for Christ's sakes? Call my carrier, Airphone Com. They'll have a record of every number dialed. Thanks, Hank. We're on top of it. What were you doing at Sydney's last night? I just wanted to see her, that's all. You rode your bike there? Yes, sir. And last night, Sydney said you crawled through her window last night, too. Hank's surprised. You were out last night? I watched TV for a while, but then I felt like going for a ride. Did you ride past Casey Becker's house? No, I didn't. I didn't kill anyone, Sheriff. We're gonna have to keep you, Billy. The governor's got SBI, FBI, and God knows who else on their way down here. Billy fights tears. This is crazy, I didn't do it. Sheriff Burke eyes him up and down, very carefully. Minutes later, Tatum joins Sydney. The sheriff's door opens and Billy is led out by a couple of uniforms. Burke and Dewey appear in the door watching Tatum comfort Sydney. Out of earshot, Dewey tells the sheriff, That ghost mask is sold at both Kroger's and Walmart, neither of which keep purchase records. What about the cellular phone bill? They're pulling Loomis's account, but it'll be morning before we see something. You think he did it? 20 years ago, I would have said not a chance, but these kids today, damn if I know. Hey, Dewey, can we go now? Tatum bossily asks. Hold up a sec. Burke asks Dewey, she's staying with you? We haven't located her dad yet. God damn it, Dewey! Dewey turns her, his face red. What did Mom tell you? When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law. I'm sorry, Deputy Dewey boy, but we're ready to go. Use the back way, avoid the circus out front, Burke advises. The door opens as Sydney, Tatum, Dewey, and a couple of officers exit, avoiding the horde of reporters that can be seen around the corner, waiting anxiously at the front entrance. Dewey tells the girls, I'll get the car, wait here. Dewey takes off. From the darkness of the alley, Gale Weathers appears with Kenny and his camera. They've been waiting. Hello, Sydney. Sydney spins around to see Gale, standing, smiling at her. Sydney's body tightens and her face goes taut. Some night, are you all right?
Their eyes meet in a cold, familiar stare. Sydney says nothing. She's visibly shaking. What happened? Tatum speaks up. She's not answering any questions. Just leave us alone, okay? It's okay, Tatum. She's just doing her job. Right, Gail? Yes, that's right. Dewey in a squad car turns into the alley and pulls up. The other news people have wisened up. They begin to flock the alley. Sydney gives a fake smile and asks, "How's the book?" "It'll be out later this year." Sydney tries to contain herself, squeezing a clenched fist. "I'll look for it. I'll send you a copy." In a blurred, unexpected instant, Sydney brings her fist forward, smashing it hard into Gail's face. The impact sends Gail reeling backwards, knocking into Kenny as they both tumble to the pavement. Sydney is breathing deep, a sense of satisfaction on her face. Arriving at the Rileys, Sydney sits in Tatum's spacious bedroom. Tatum and Sydney lay on the bed. "God, I loved it. I'll send you a copy." Bam! Bitch went down. "I'll send you a copy." Bam! Sid, super bitch. Dewey appears in the doorway holding a bag of ice. "I thought you might want some ice for that right hook." Sydney sits up, takes the ice, and puts it on her hand. "I'll be right next door. Try to get some sleep." Dewey moves to the back of the room. "Any word on my dad?" Dewey turns to her. "Not yet, but we're looking. If you need anything..." Tatum interjects. Yeah. Dewey smiles, pulling the door closed on his way out. Sydney lies back down. "Just another sleepover at the Rileys. Just like old times, ain't it?" "No, nothing's like it used to be." Sydney rolls over on her side, away from Tatum. A telephone rings somewhere in the house. Tatum asks, "Do you really think Billy did it?" "He was there, Tatum." "I knew the guy was too perfect. He was destined to have a flaw." A knock at the door. It opens, and a friendly graying woman pops in. It's Mama Riley. She wears a comforting smile. "Telephone, dear." Tatum sits up. "Who is it?" "It's for Sid." "My dad?" Mama Riley shakes her head sadly. Tatum brushes it off. "Take a message." "It's all right, Tatum. I'll take it." Sydney takes off out the door. Mama Riley motions to Tatum. "How is she?" Tatum shrugs. Sydney grabs the phone at the end of the hall. "Hello?" "Hello, Sydney." It's him. Sydney's entire body goes weak, his voice moving through her, invading her. "No!" Sid cries out. Mama Riley turns in the doorway. Tatum comes bolting out of the bedroom. "Poor Billy boyfriend, an innocent guy doesn't stand a chance with you. Leave me alone!" "Looks like you fingered the wrong guy. Again." "Who are you?" Tatum moves closer. "Hang up, Sid." "Don't worry, you'll find out soon enough, I promise." Mama Riley beats on a closed bedroom door. Dewey! "This is gonna be fun, Sydney. Just like old times." Click. Dewey flies out of his room, where only his boxers, holding a gun. What? The phone goes dead. Sydney stands frozen. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 6. You Owe My Mother. The morning sun shines high over Woodsboro Town Square. Cars come to life. Townsfolk stir as the picture postcard community awakens from a restless sleep. Sydney and Tatum sit at the kitchen table, dressed and ready for school, as Mama Riley serves up breakfast. A small television sits on the counter blaring. Dewey, in uniform, stands near the door, talking on the phone. "I think you girls really should stay home today. Your objection is duly noted," Tatum brushes off. "I'd rather be around a lot of people." Mama Riley. From the TV, Sydney hears her name. Sydney Prescott. All eyes go to the television. Who escaped a vicious attack last night was the daughter of Maureen Prescott, who was brutally killed last year when convicted murderer Cotton Weary. Cotton appears on the screen in prison fatigues, once a handsome man, now haggard and worn. Broke into their home and savagely raped and tortured the deceased. Cotton Weary is currently awaiting appeal for the death sentence handed down after the young Sydney testified against him. She was the key witness in the state's prosecution. It's never gonna stop, is it? Dewey is off the phone. Billy was released. The cellular phone bill was clean. He didn't make those calls. "Somebody called me, Dewey. I'm not making it up." "I know. We're checking every cellular account in the county. Any calls made to you or Casey Becker are being cross-referenced. It's gonna take time, but we'll find him." "And my dad? Any word on him?" Dewey shakes his head. "No." Once again, reporters line the street, attacking students as they make their way into school, asking questions, hungry for the teenage insight. Dewey's patrol jeep cruises by. Sydney watches from the passenger's window. Dewey pulls up in front of the school. Tatum hops out while Sid lingers, suddenly unsure. Dewey takes notice. Hey, it's school. You'll be safe here. Sydney forces herself out of the Jeep as a microphone is shoved in her face. How does it feel to be almost brutally butchered? Dewey leaps from the car, intercepting the reporter. Leave the girls alone, will ya? She's just trying to get an education. Sydney eyes the news van that's pulled up behind her. The side door slides open and Gail Weathers steps out. Tatum touches Sid's arm. Come on, Sid. Just a sec, I need to talk to someone. She heads over to Gail. Sydney puts her head down, hiding her face, avoiding other reporters as she makes her way to Gail, who sits in the open door, checking her face in the mirror. Makeup tries to hide Sid's handiwork, a swollen black and blue right cheek. Gail spots Sydney immediately and leaps to her feet. Stop right there. Sydney throws her hands up in surrender. I'm not here to fight. Just stay back. I want to talk to you. Gail calling in the van. Kenny, camera, now. Kenny head darts out of the van. Off the record, no cameras. Forget it. Sydney contains herself. Please, you owe me. I owe you shit. Gail moves inside the van. Sydney is relentless. You owe my mother. Your mother's murder was last year's hottest court case. Somebody was going to write a book about it. And it had to be you with all your lies and bullshit theories. What is your problem? You got what you wanted. Cotton Weary's in jail. They're going to gas him. A book is not going to change that. Do you still think he's innocent? Gail's interest is piqued. She eyes Sydney suspiciously. He was convicted in a court of law. Your testimony put him away. It doesn't matter what I think. During the trial, you did all those stories about me. You called me a liar. I think you falsely identified him, yes. Have you talked to Cotton? Many times. Has his story changed? Not one word. He admits to having sex with your mother, but that's all. He's lying. She wouldn't have touched him. He raped her, then butchered her. Her blood was all over his coat. He was drunk that night. He left his coat at your house after your mother seduced him. I saw him leave wearing it. No, you saw someone leave wearing it. The same person who planted it in Cotton's car, framing him. The same person who really killed your mother. A long beat. Sydney considers this for the millionth time. No, Cotton murdered my mother. There's doubt in her voice. Gail's face lights up. You're not so sure anymore, are you? Sydney clams up. No, it was Cotton. Tatum comes waltzing up. Nice welt, sweetie. Gail ignores her, zeroing in on Sydney, half realizing. The killer is still on the loose, isn't he? These murders are related. Tatum grabs Sid's arm. Yo, let's rock. I'm sorry I mangled your face. She takes off with Tatum. Gail calls after her. Wait, Sydney, don't go! Sydney and Tatum have already disappeared in the crowd of students moving across campus. Gail looks to Kenny. Jesus Christ, an innocent man on death row? A killer still on the loose? Kenny, tell me I'm dreaming. You want to go live? Gail's mind races with possibilities. No, not so fast. We have nothing concrete. When did that ever stop you? You can't sit on this. This is huge. If I'm going to blow this up, I need hard proof. But it's so much easier when we make it up. Not this time. I owe Cotton that much. Hell, even I thought the man was guilty. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 7, Trying to Hold On. Tatum and Sydney make their way across campus. Just relax, you're at school now. No one can get you here. But if it wasn't Billy, it could be anybody. He could be here at school right now. They move up the walk as a figure falls in step behind them, sporting a white ghost mask. Serial killers are smart by definition. They minimize their risk. They plan and pre-calculate everything. Showing up here would be like the most lame-brained move he could make. He promised me he'd be back. As easy as the figure appeared, it disappears, falling out of sight, unseen by either of them. I wouldn't put too much stock in a psycho's promise. They move up the front steps, toward the main doors of the school, as the ghost mask figure reappears standing at the top of the steps. Sydney sees it first, stopping dead in her tracks. She steps back, spinning around to find a ghost face behind her as well, both of them approaching, closing in on her. Sydney starts to scream when the two ghosts bust up laughing, tearing off across campus. In front of the school, a reporter doing a live remote. He holds a mask in his hand. This morning, several students in what appears to be a prank have been spotted wearing masks worn by the killer. Just before the bell, the hallway is congested with students heading to class. Tatum is at her locker with Sydney. This is a mistake, I shouldn't be here. I want you to meet me right here after class, okay? Billy appears in the crowd, with Stu tagging behind. Tatum spots him first. Shit, what is he doing here? I bet he's pissed. Just ignore him. You had good reason to think what you did. Billy and Stu approach. Billy's face is solemn. Hi, Sid. Can we talk a sec? Sydney says nothing. She can barely look at him. Tatum intervenes. You know, if I were accused of covering up 2 people, I'd take the opportunity to skip school. Stu steps in. Hey, go easy, Tatum. You didn't do it. Talk to me, Sid. A scream erupts. All eyes go to a ghost-masked student running down the hall, screaming wildly, running amok. Why are they doing this? Are you kidding? It's like Christmas. Billy punches Stu in the side. Ow! You open your mouth and stupidity pours out. Sorry. Sydney, clearly upset, takes off down the hall. Billy races after her. Tatum yells, "Stay away from her, Billy!" Tatum slams her locker shut as the bell rings. With first period underway, the halls have cleared. 1 or 2 straggling students can be seen rushing to class. Sydney moves quickly down the hall, rounding a corner, running smack into Billy. They collide hard, catching Sydney off guard, scaring the life out of her. She falls backwards, but Billy catches her fall. Jesus, shit! Hey, it's just me. Sydney pulls away from him quickly. Billy feels the slight. What? You don't still think it's me? Sydney catches her breath. No, I don't. It's just... God, Billy, someone was there. Someone tried to kill me. The police said I scared him off. It wasn't me, Sid. I know. He called again last night at Tatum's house. See, it couldn't have been me. I was in jail, remember? I'm sorry. Please understand. Understand what? That I got a girlfriend who would rather accuse me of murder than touch me? You know that's not true. Then what is it? Is there somebody else? No. Is it the sex thing? Am I being too pushy? No, it's me, Billy. I need time. I'm still adjusting to my mom. It's been a year since she died. Tomorrow. 1 year ago tomorrow, Sydney says, holding back tears. When are you gonna let that go, Sid? When my mom left my dad, I just accepted it. This is the way it is. She's not coming back. Sharply, Sydney says back, your parents split up. It's not the same thing. Your mom left town. She's not in a coffin somewhere. You have to move on, Sid. Sydney starts to walk away, but turns back angry. I'm glad to know you're coping so well with life, Billy, but some of us aren't so perfect. Some of us are just trying to hold on. Sydney disappears into the girls' bathroom, leaving Billy alone in the hallway. He smacks his forehead, pissed at himself. Large and spacious, closed bathroom stalls line one wall facing a row of sinks and a huge mirror. Sydney enters as 2 girls talk to each other. She was never attacked. I think she made it all up. Why would she lie about it? For attention? The girl has some serious issues. Sydney listens intently. A toilet flushes. Sydney quickly jumps in a stall, hiding, just as a girl appears from the stall. She looks like her voice. Snotty little twit. What if she did it? What if Sydney killed Casey and Steve? And why would she do that? Maybe she was hot for Steve and killed them both in a jealous rage. Another toilet flushes. What would Sydney want with Steve? She has her own bubble butt boyfriend, Billy. Maybe she's a slut, just like her mom. Inside the stall, Sydney listens, her face weakening. The girl says to her friend, you're evil. Please, it's common knowledge, her mother was a whore. Cut some slack, she watched her mom get butchered. And it fucked her up royally. Think about it, it makes perfect sense. Her mom's death leaves her distraught and hostile in a cruel and inhumane world. She's delusioned, where's God, etc. Completely suicidal. And one day she snaps. She wants to kill herself, but realizes that teen suicide is out this year, and homicide is a much healthier therapeutic expression. From the stall, Sydney listens, her heart pounding, jaw quivering. The friend's shock. Where do you get this shit? The 2 girls exit. Sydney moves out of the stall, catching a reflection in the mirror. Water drips somewhere from a leaky pipe as wind whistles in from the cracked door above the bathroom. Sydney moves out of the stall, catching a reflection in the mirror. Water drips somewhere from a leaky pipe as wind whistles in from the cracked pipe above the bathroom door. It sounds almost like a whisper. Sydney. Sydney spins around. She checks out the bathroom. The doors to the stalls are all closed. She bends down and scans beneath them, looking for feet. No one. Nothing. Sydney turns back to the mirror. The whisper returns. Sydney. Unmistakable this time. The voice strikes Sydney like a nail through the eye. It comes from one of the stalls. She stands, thunderstruck, eyeing the stalls through the mirror. A long, morose silence, and then, softly, simply, "It's me, Sydney." Sydney spins around. He's here. Terror floods her face. She eyes the exit door, then the row of stalls she must pass to get to it. She checks under the stalls again. Nothing. Where the fuck is he? She takes a step forward when 2 feet step down from a toilet onto the floor in the last stall. Sydney's face draws tight as the stall door begins to creak open. She bolts forward, making a break for it, but slips on the wet floor. Her feet flying out from under her, Sydney reaches out, grabs hold of a sink, and saves herself from falling. She glimpses a ghost mask in the mirror coming for her. A hand grabs her shoulder as she slams her body through the exit door, narrowly escaping. Sydney flies out of the bathroom door, screaming, burning up the hallway, not looking back. A teacher, hearing her scream, peers out from an open doorway as Sydney sprints by him, not stopping, running madly. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 8, Little Shits. Principal Himbry is red-faced as he reads the riot act. I'm sickened. Your whole havoc-inducing, thieving, whoring generation disgusts me. He is lecturing 2 ghost-masked students standing at attention. Mr. Himbry rips the mask off of one of the students' heads. 2 students have been savagely murdered, and this is how we express our compassion and sensitivity? He rips the mask off the other student. We throw on a mask and dance around campus, just hoping someone else gets butchered before we get bored again. You're both expelled. The students protest. Oh, come on, Mr. Himbry, it was just a joke. Yeah, that's not fair. A deep-rooted hostility has taken over Mr. Himbry's face. Neither student budges, scared to even breathe. No, it's not fair. Fairness would be to rip your insides out and hang you from a tree so you can be exposed for the desensitized, heartless little shits you are. The door bursts open and Sydney appears, hysterical. Crying, Sydney, he's here, I saw him, he's here. Mr. Himbry rushes her, arms outstretched. Easy, child. Sydney collapses in his arms. Dewey's patrol jeep is parked in front of the school. He stands in the open driver's door, talking on the radio with Sheriff Burke. She's okay, look, like some boys were teasing her. Himbry's shutting down the school, though. I want you to just take a look around. Yes, sir, Sheriff. Dewey shuts the jeep door and heads for the campus when Gail Weathers appears, her face aglow. Hi! Gail Weathers, field correspondent, Inside Story? I know who you are, ma'am. How's the eye? Productive. So they're closing down the school? Well, yes, ma'am, for the time being. Dewey heads for the school building. Gail scurries along aside him flirtatiously. And why is that? Has something happened? You're not supposed to be here, ma'am. I know, I should be in New York covering the Sharon Stone stalker, but who knew? Please, call me Gail. You look awfully young to be a police officer. Dewey's eyes wander down to Gail's long legs, the way her hips move as she walks. He's clearly distracted. I'm 25 years old, ma'am. 25, huh? In a demographic study, I proved to be most popular amongst males 11 to 24. I just missed you. Of course, you don't look a day over 12, except in the upper torso area. Does the force require that you work out? Dewey looks away, blushing a bit. No, ma'am. Because of my boyish good looks, muscle mass has increased my acceptance as a serious police officer. They approach the front entrance. Suddenly, Mr. Himbry's voice is amplified through the intercoms across campus via the PA system. They stop to listen. Your attention, please. Due to the recent events that have occurred, and until it comes to a resolve, effective immediately, all classes are suspended till further notice. The Woodsboro Police Department has also asked me to announce a citywide curfew beginning at 6 o'clock. I repeat. Gail speaks over Himbry's voice. Boy, you people sure do make a fuss over a serial killer. Serial killer is not really accurate, ma'am. The killer has yet to strike twice. Well, we can hope, can't we? We certainly don't have any leads. A ghost mask, a cellular phone. Not much there. We're tracking the cellular phone bill. Really? You small town guys are good. And have you located Sydney's father? No, not yet. He's not a suspect, is he? We haven't ruled out the possibility. Dewey realized he said too much. Clams up. If you'll excuse me, ma'am. Am I keeping you? I'm sorry. It's quite all right.
If I may say so, ma'am, you're much prettier in person. Dewey starts up the school's front steps as the bell rings. So you do watch the show? He turns to her earnestly as students come pouring out of the front doors. I just turned 25. I was 24 for a whole year. You are precious. Please call me Gail. She smiles deliciously, gives him a wink, then struts off as Dewey, like a nervous little schoolboy, watches her go. School is clearing out. The halls have begun to empty as Tatum escorts Sydney down the hallway. It was just some sick fuck having a laugh. It was him, Tatum, I know it. Tatum wants to believe her, but you are not alone again. Is that clear? If you pee, I pee. Stu appears. Is this not cool or what? Hey Sid, what happened? Tatum gets in front of Sid. For once, Stu, drop it. Okay, but whatever you did, the entire school body wants to say thank you. Stu moves to Tatum and gives her a kiss. And to celebrate this impromptu fall break, I propose we have a party tonight, my house. Sydney stands up straighter. Are you serious? My parents are out of town. It'll be like my hurricane bash last year. Nothing extreme, just a few of us hanging. Tatum warms to the idea. This could be good. What do you think, Sid? I don't know. Come on, pathos has its perks. Sydney considers trying hard to be good-spirited. Stu adds, remember, there's safety in numbers. Sydney giving in. Yeah, okay, whatever. Cool, see you girls tonight. Bring food. Stu speeds off, sliding down the empty hallway. Mr. Himbry sits at his desk, staring at the ghost masks before him. He picks one of them up, snickering. Damn. He stands and moves to the closet next to his office door. He pulls it open to reveal a mirror hooked inside the door. He tries the mask on, pulling it over his face, looking in the mirror when a knock at the door stops him. He rips the mask off his head, turns to his office door and opens it to reveal an empty doorway. He pokes his head out into the outer office area and looks around, but no one's there. Hello? This place is empty. A little spacious. The place is empty. He closes the door. Catching his reflection in the closet mirror, he looks at the mask in his hands. Jesus, even he's jumpy. 2 seconds later, a knock at the door. Himber grabs the door quickly, this time throwing it open. Again, no one's there. He steps out into the outer office, determined to catch the prankster. Completely empty. Mr. Himbry moves through the outer office and into the school corridor. The overhead light have been turned on, and the corridor is now dark and deserted. He looks up and down the hall. Only a janitor is seen in the distance pushing a broom. Little shits, Mr. Himbry returns to his office. Himbry re-enters his office, moving to his desk, when he spots the closet door now closed shut. This gives him pause. He had left it open, hadn't he? He can't remember. He shifts, uneasily reaching for the doorknob, pulling the door open to reveal an empty closet. He stands still a moment, realizing someone could be easily standing behind the open closet door. Nervously, he pushes it shut to reveal nothing. Mr. Himbry shakes away his jitters, realizing he's spooked himself. He continues to his desk, pushing his office door shut, when a ghost masked figure lunges from behind it, knife in hand. Quick and easy, 3 jabs to the stomach and Himbry goes down, the ghost masked figure towering above him. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 9, Everyone's a Suspect. The late afternoon sun is quickly disappearing. Tatum and Sydney rock on the front porch, looking out onto the small town neighborhood. Dewey's patrol jeep is parked in the driveway. Despite loud music blaring from an inside stereo, this is a quiet moment. Maybe Cotton Weary is telling the truth. Maybe he was having an affair with your mom. So you think my mom was a slut too? I didn't say that, Sid. But you know, there were rumors. Your dad was always out of town on business. Maybe your mom was just a very unhappy woman. If they were having an affair, how come Cotton couldn't prove it in court? You can't prove a rumor, Sid. That's why it's a rumor. Created by that little tabloid twit Gail Weathers. Tatum leans in and says delicately, It goes further back, Sid. There's been talk about other men. And you believe it? Well, you can only hear that Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you have to start believing it.
A long silence as Sydney agonizes over all of this. She stands up and moves to the edge of the porch and stares out onto the neighborhood. If I was wrong with Cotton, then he's still out there. Don't go there, Sid. You're starting to sound like some Wes Carpenter flick. Don't freak yourself out. We've got a long night ahead of us. You're right. I'm cracking up. Ignore me. Come on, let's rock. Sid follows Tatum inside the house, never seeing the ghost-masked figure that stands across the street under a tree, his presence so subtle and unobtrusive. Stu is moving along the main street when Billy comes barreling up next to him. How'd you do? Piece of cake, she'll be there. Thanks, Buttwart, you did good. So, you gonna try and make up with Sid? Duh, that's quick. I was just asking, why are you always mad at me? Because I'm trying to build your self-esteem, you're far too sensitive. Oh. Billy thumps Stu's forehead. You ready to party hard tonight? You know it. They come to a building centrally located in the heart of a main street. A huge blue monstrosity that's bigger than the local bank and post office combined. The sign in front reads Blockbuster. It's your typical Blockbuster, huge and crowded. Randy, in his Blockbuster getup, is busy reshelving returns when Stu appears, knocking the videos out of his hands. Jesus, this place is packed. Randy, picking up his videos. We had a run in the mass murder section. You coming tonight? Yeah, I'm off early. Curfew, you know. He looks off. Now that's in poor taste. What? Randy refers to Billy, who stands down the aisle, talking to two girls. If you were the only suspect in a senseless bloodbath, would you be standing in the horror section? It was all a misunderstanding. He didn't do anything. You're such a little lapdog. He's got killer printed all over his forehead. Then why'd the police let him go? Because obviously they don't watch enough movies. This is standard horror movie stuff, Prom Night Revisited. Randy moves down the aisle, reshelving videos. Why do you think he'd want to kill his own girlfriend? There's always some bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend. That's the beauty of it all, simplicity. Besides, if it's too complicated, you lose your target audience. So what's his reason? Maybe Sid wouldn't have sex with him. Is she saving herself for you? Could be. Now that Billy's tried to mutilate her, you think Sid would want to go out with me? I think her father did it. How come they can't find his ass? Because he's probably dead. His body will come popping out in the last reel somewhere. Eyes gouged out. See, the police are always off track with this shit. If they'd watch Prom Night, they'd save time. There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everyone's a suspect. The father, the principal, the town derelict, which is you. So while they're off investigating a dead-end Billy, who's been written off as a suspect, is busy planning his next hunting expedition. How do we know you're not the killer? Randy spins around to find Billy right behind him. Hi, Billy. Maybe your movie freak mind lost its reality button. Randy shrugs, laughing it off. You're absolutely right. I'm the first to admit it. If this were a scary movie, I'd be the prime suspect. Stu moves closer to Randy. And what would be your motive? It's the millennia. Motives are incidental. Dewey's patrol jeep makes its way down Main Street. It's almost dark. The street is close to deserted. Dewey's behind the wheel, having a heated conversation with Tatum while Sid stares out the window. A party? Mom's gonna kill you, then me. Don't be so self-righteous. It's just a little blowout. We'll be perfectly safe. Sid stares out the window. Closed signs fill the storefronts. A few people rush to their cars in a hurry to beat curfew. God, look at this place. It's like the town that dreaded sundown. Hey, I saw that movie. True story, about some killers in Texas. Hey Sid, just think if you made a movie about you. Who's gonna play you? Oh God. Dewey comes to a stop, parking the car in front of the police station. He looks to Sid with a brotherly smile. I see you as a young Meg Ryan myself. Thanks, Dewey, but with my luck they'd cast story spelling. They pile out of the Jeep. Dewey heads for the station. I'll be just a few minutes, don't go far. The girls take off to the local supermarket that sits across the street. Is Billy going to be there? He better not be. I told Stu to keep his mouth shut. I think we can live without everybody's all-American hero for one night. They approach the grocery store, small and simple. Sid and Tatum grab a shopping cart from the bin and enter the store, pushing the cart through two sliding glass doors. A lone checkout lady behind the counter, big and frumpy, looks up from counting money. You girls have to hurry it up, we're under curfew. Tatum replies, 2 minutes, tops. They make a beeline for the junk food, just as the automated doors slide shut behind them. A ghost masked figure appears out of nowhere, standing just outside, watching quietly through the glass door windows. Sheriff Burke's face heats up as Deputy Riley marches in hurriedly. Dewey, where the hell you been, boy? Keeping my eye on Sydney. Listen up, Dewey, because it's bad. Real bad. Aircomp just faxed us. The calls were listed to Neil Prescott, Sydney's father. He made the calls with his cellular phone. It's confirmed. Couldn't his cellular number have been cloned? There's more. Guess what tomorrow is? The anniversary of his wife's death. It all fits. He's our man. Have you contacted the Bureau? They believe he's out of the state by now. We'll keep roadblocks and curfew in effect through the night. If he's not picked up by morning, we'll do a house-to-house. You think he could still be in town? He'd have to be crazy. Where's Sydney? She's with my sister. Should I bring her in? Hold off for now. Just stay close to her. She'll be with friends over at Stu Mocker's tonight. Watch her. Don't let on. Just keep your eyes out. Yes, sir. Sydney and Tatum push a basket through the junk food section. The store is completely empty. The girls grab freely. Billy's right. Whenever he touches me, I just can't relax. You have a few intimacy issues as a result of your mother's untimely death. It's no big deal. You'll thaw out. But he's been so patient with me, Tatum. You know, with all this sex stuff, how many guys would put up with a girlfriend who's sexually anorexic? Billy and his penis don't deserve you. Sydney grabs some chips and salsa from the shelf. Down the aisle, through the storefront window, the ghost-masked figure still stands, watching their every move. Sid pushes the cart out the glass door, with Tatum riding it. The ghost-masked figure is nowhere to be found. Sid pushes the cart up to Dewey's Jeep. Tatum hops off. Tatum pulls the back Jeep door open, loading the groceries in. Behind her, the ghost-masked figure appears, just out of her sight, behind the Jeep's open back door. Okay, Sid, let's have some fun tonight. Deal. Sydney moves to the back door and closes it shut. When from behind, Dewey stands. Sid jumps, startled. Your girls ready? Yeah. Looks like I'm your personal bodyguard tonight, Sid. No, Dewey, you'll ruin the whole night. Sorry, police orders. I'll stay out of the way, I promise. Shit. Tatum kicks the shopping cart out of the way blindly. It rolls down the road by itself, gaining speed on a decline, running smack into the ghost-masked figure who stops the cart cold with one hand. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 10, Cutting It Loose. Dewey's Jeep makes its way down a long, winding road. Headlights illuminate the thick woods that line each side. Following behind them at a discreet distance is a huge white news van. Dewey comes to the end of the road. It dead ends at Stu's house, which sits alone in a clearing, big and ominous, with no neighbors in sight. From the looks of things, the party has already started. Music is blaring. A few kids hang on the porch. Tatum and Sydney head inside with their groceries. Friends greet them in the big living room sprinkled throughout with smoking and drinking as the stereo blasts music, and the TV airs around-the-clock killer coverage. The girls carry the bags through a hallway that opens up onto an enormous kitchen. Stu and some guys are leaning over the sink, drinking beer from a funnel. That's mature, comments Tatum. Stu appears. Where you guys been? We had to start without you. Outside Stu's house, the news van pulls up and parks unobtrusively on the side of the road, a few feet down from the front yard. Kenny and Gail move around inside the van. Kenny hovers over a control panel, complete with video monitors. What's the plan? Prep the compact. We'll hide it in a window and tape all of tonight's festivities. Kenny picks up a compact video camera, the size of his fist. He checks its battery pack. The control board's glitched. You know we can't carry a live picture. What's the delay? About 30 seconds. As long as it records, I don't give a shit. We're not doing a remote. Gail slides open the side door and steps out into the darkness, not seeing the figure that stands behind her. A hand grabs her shoulder. Gail's heart stops as she spins around to find Dewey smiling, extremely pleased to see her. Evening, ma'am. Deputy, good evening. What brings you out to these parts? You never know when a big story will break. Not much of a story here, just a bunch of kids cutting it loose. And what are you doing here? Keeping an eye on things, checking the place out. Mind if I join you? Dewey considers for a whole 2 seconds. Not at all. Gail leads in the van, grabs the camera from Kenny's hand, and throws it in her bag. She gives Kenny a wink. Moving around the kitchen are Sid, Stu, and Tatum, preparing a junk food feast. Other teens pop in and out. Randy appears amongst them. He's carrying an armful of videos. I thought we'd make it a blockbuster night. He lets the videos splatter across the kitchen counter. Stu and Tatum dive in.
Stu says, "I thought everything was checked out." I hit him in the foreign section. Sydney peruses the videos. The Fog, Terror Train, Prom Night. How come Jamie Lee Curtis is in all of these movies? 'Cause she's the scream queen. With a set of lungs like that, she should be. Tatum to Stu. Tits. See? The party is going strong. 15 people stand, sit, lean. Some crowd around the floor in front of the television. Randy comes in taking a vote. How many Evil Deads? Hands go up. How many Hellraisers? Hands go up with bickering. The doorbell rings. Stu goes for it. I got it. Tatum, get me a beer. They're in the fridge in the garage. What am I, the beer wench? Hey, guess who's here? That chick from Inside Story. Everyone looks up to the hallway and sees Dewey and Gail standing in the foyer. Shit, Dewey! Everyone perks up, eyeing Gail. What is she doing here? She's with me. I just wanted to check on things. The guys in the room are drooling over Gail, including Stu. So you did. Now leave and take your media muff with you. Tatum takes off for the kitchen. Gail has quickly become the focus of the party. All eyes on her. I watch your show religiously. This must be big news to be on Inside Story, Gail replies. Huge. Want to interview us? Randy adds, we could be like two grief-ridden students and we'll say really nice things about our good friends who were senselessly slaughtered. Stu perks up. I can cry on cue. Gail eyes the bookshelf above the television. Maybe later. Gail starts to cough. Can I trouble you for some water? How about a beer? Randy, get the lady a beer. You get it. Gail slips the camera from her bag, hits on the switch, and holds it behind her, waiting for the right moment. Back in the foyer, Sydney asks Dewey, have they found my father? Afraid not. Should I be worried? Not yet. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 11, Cut Casper. Tatum is alone in the kitchen. She empties popcorn into a bowl, then pulls open the refrigerator, looks quickly, then remembers. She moves through the adjoining laundry room. To the kitchen door, opens it, light flooding the darkened garage. She finds a button and hits it. Broom! The electric garage door starts to rise. Wrong switch. She hits it again and it closes. She finds another switch. Click. A small light bulb overhead comes on, barely lighting the large two-car garage, leaving pockets of shadow along the wall. Tatum spots the refrigerator against a far wall and heads for it, not seeing the kitchen door quietly, slowly closing behind her, sealing her off from the rest of the house. Tatum stumbles to the refrigerator and throws it open. Its light casts a glow across her face. Crash! Boom! Tatum jumps, spinning around just in time to see a cat escape through a large pet door that's built into the garage door. She smiles at her jumpiness. Tatum loads up with as many beers as she can carry and heads back to the kitchen. At the kitchen door, she juggles the beers, reaching for the knob. It's locked. Shit! She kicks it with her foot several times. Hey, shitheads! A moment, no answer. Oh shit, piss. Tatum leans over with her elbow, hits the garage door button. It begins to rise. She moves towards the rising door, beers in hand. Suddenly, the garage door resets, reversing direction. Moving down, closing. What the? Tatum spins around to see a ghost-masked figure silhouetted in the dark, next to the kitchen door, his hand on the switch. Tatum at once gasps, taken aback, but then relaxes. Is that you, Randy? Cute. The figure stares at her blankly. And what movie is this from? I Spit on Your Garage? Tatum takes a step towards the figure. Lose the mask. If Sydney sees it, she'll flip. The figure shakes his head, slowly from side to side. Oh, you want to play Psycho Killer? The figure slowly nods. Can I be the helpless victim? The figure slowly nods again. Okay, let's see. No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. Tatum takes a step to move around the figure, but he steps too, blocking her. Cut, Casper, that's a wrap. Tatum moves again, sidestepping the figure, but they are faster and cuts her off. Tatum juggles the beer against her chest with one hand, and with the other pushes the figure hard, knocking him aside. Randy, will you stop? The figure intercepts, lunging forward, grabbing her wrist hard. Tatum stumbles, beer bottles hit the floor, breaking. You little shit! Tatum yanks hard, releasing his hold when a flash of silver catches her eye. She looks down, glimpsing a long, sharp blade as it darts forward, cutting into her forearm. Tatum pulls back, horrified, as the moment turns deadly serious. The figure advances on her, knife out, ready.
She staggers backwards, holding her bloody arm, backing into the refrigerator. "Who are you?" The figure lashes out with the knife. Tatum dodges it, leaping back against the fridge. The figure advances. Instinctively, she rips the top freezer door open, bashing the figure in the face, sending them backwards, reeling. Tatum bolts to the closed garage door. In a panic, she beats and pulls on it, trying to make it lift. She eyes the figure. They're recovering. She goes for the pet door, dropping to the floor, diving for it. She wedges her upper body through, her head, shoulders, torso, just as the figure pounces, grabbing hold of her feet. Tatum goes crazy, screaming and kicking, trying to get through. She is half in and half out of the pet door. She beats and jerks wildly, unable to see the figure on the other side. A true fighter. Tatum kicks hard, making direct contact with the figure, knocking them aside. She takes the moment to pull herself through further, but she stops, stuck. She pulls and tugs but can't move. She listens but hears nothing. Where did they go? An agonizing silence, and then the garage door is activated. It begins to rise upward, taking Tatum with it. She screams madly, "No!" Tatum's arms and legs fly violently as she tries to free herself from the door, but it moves too fast, carrying her up. She looks above to see where the door rolls back into the garage rafters, just as her neck hits the first beam, snapping instantly. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 12. Turn out just like her. It's getting late and some teens leave through the front door, muttering about parents and curfew. The door hangs open wide. Sid moves to close it when Billy appears. "Billy, Jesus, you scared me." "Dude, what are you doing here?" Stu asks with a wink. "I was hoping Sid and I could talk. If Tatum sees you, she'll draw blood. You guys can go up to my parents' room to talk and whatever." "Subtlety, Stu, look it up." "It's okay, we need to talk." She grabs his hand and leads him up the staircase. Randy appears from the kitchen, just in time to see Sid and Billy disappear upstairs. "What's Leatherface doing here?" "He came to make up." "Here goes my chance with Sid." Like you had one. Kenny fidgets at the control board. He hits a couple of buttons, bangs the side of the monitor, and a picture emerges, the living room. The camera is positioned just above the television. Several teens sit right in front of the television. Because of the camera's position, they appear to be staring right into the lens. The van's door slides open and Gail pops in. "Got a picture. Perfect placement. We can see everything." Gail's ecstatic. "Tell me, Kenny, has a cheesy tabloid journalist ever won a Pulitzer?" "I guess there's a first time for everything." A large master bedroom, with glass doors that lead out onto a balcony. Sid and Billy stare at each other for a long moment. Awkward. So, I'm sorry. I've been a selfish shit, and I'm sorry." "No, Billy, I'm the one who's been selfish and self-absorbed with all my post-traumatic stress. You lost your mom. But you're right. Enough is enough. I can't wallow in the grief process forever, and I can't keep lying to myself about who my mom was." Billy bows his head quietly, knowingly. "I think in some weird analytical, psychological bullshit way, I'm scared that I'm gonna turn out just like her, you know? Like the bad seed or something. Sydney, every time I get close to you, I see my mom. I know it doesn't make sense. Sure it does. It's like Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs when she kept having flashbacks of her dead father. But this is life. This isn't a movie." "Sure it is, Sid. It's all a movie. Life's one great big movie. Only you can't pick your genre." Billy moves to her. They embrace tenderly. "I want to let go. I do. Shh. Everything's going to be okay, I promise." Sydney takes the initiative, acting on impulse, kissing him long and hard. She breaks away passionately, out of breath. "Why can't I be a Meg Ryan movie?" Billy nibbles her neck. "Shh, it's okay. Or even a good porno?" Billy's shocked. "What?" She stares at him, her eyes sexually charged. "You heard me. Are you serious?" Sydney surprising herself. "Yeah, I think so." They smile at each other. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 13. The Rules. The camera sits on the bookshelf lodged between two knickknacks, completely inconspicuous. The camera widens to reveal several teens watching the TV, the horror diehards. "Look, here it comes! Splat!" The blood's not the right color. Why do they do that? It's too red. "Here comes another!" Predictable. Knew he was going to bite it. How can you watch this shit over and over? Shh! I want to see Jamie Lee's breasts. When do you see Jamie Lee's breasts? Asks Stu. Randy chimes in. Not until Trading Places in '83. Jamie was always the virgin of horror movies. She didn't show her tits until she went legit. No way. That's why she always lived. Only virgins can outsmart the killer in the big chase scene in the end. Don't you know the rules? Stu finishes his beer. What rules? Randy hits the pause button on the remote and stands in front of the television explaining. There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. Number 1, you can never have sex. Sex equals death. Number 2, never drink or do drugs. It's the sin factor and its extension of number 1. And number 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances say, I'll be right back, 'cause you won't. Stu stands up. Want another beer? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back, everyone oohs. There he goes, folks. Okay, I'll see you in the kitchen with a knife. Gail and Kenny watch the monitor. The party is clearing out some. A tap at the van door. Gail pulls it open to see Deputy Riley standing, his face all smiles. Sheriff just radioed me. I'm gonna check out a possible lead. Thought you might like to join me. What kind of lead? A car was spotted in the bushes a little ways up the road. I'd love to, if you're sure it's all right. Ma'am, I am the deputy of this town. Can I bring Kenny? No! I should probably take just you. Gail steps out of the van, turning back to Kenny. I'll be back. She slides the van door closed. Gail heads for Dewey's patrol jeep. Actually, I thought we could walk. It's not too far. Gail appears skeptical, but smiles anyway. She's genuinely smitten by this young guy. Scary music fills the living room. The party is reduced to the diehards in front of the television. Randy pointing at the TV. Look, here comes the obligatory tit shot. Beautiful. Finally. The phone rings. Everyone ignores it. It rings again. Finally, Randy grabs the receiver from the side table. Hello? Yeah? Holy shit! Randy, freak, drops the phone. Finds the TV remote and pauses the movie. The others protest. Listen up. They found Principal Hembry dead. He was gutted and hung from the goalpost on the football field. The room is still. Complete silence as the news sinks in. On different faces, a moment of devastation, disbelief, and then... So what are we waiting for? Let's get over there before they pry him down! In seconds, the room is empty as everyone bolts for the door, hooting and hollering, leaving Randy, drunk, alone in the living room. He returns to the movie. We were just getting to the good part. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 14, Convince You. Kenny is barely watching the monitor. He reached boredom some time ago. He finds a bag of Cheetos and is chowing down when he hears screaming from outside. He peers out the window to see the last of the party kids pile into 2 cars and race off down the road. He chews a Cheeto slowly, his interest piqued. The sex is over, and both Sid and Billy are dressing. Sid brushes out her hair as her eyes come to rest on the telephone on the nightstand. It puzzles her as a stark revelation crosses her face. She turns to Billy, who sits on the floor, putting on his shoes. Who did you call? What? When you were arrested, you're allowed 1 phone call. Who did you call? I called my dad. No, Sheriff Burke called your dad. I saw him. Yeah, when I called, no one answered. Uh-huh. You don't still think it was me, do you, Sid? No, but if it were you, that would have been a very clever way to throw me off track. Using your 1 phone call to call me so I wouldn't think it was you. Billy stands up. What do I have to do to prove to you I'm not a killer? He makes a move toward her when, from behind, in a split instant, from the open balcony doors comes the ghost figure. Sydney sees the figure immediately, screaming. Billy tries to calm her, oblivious to the advancing ghost. Billy, watch out! Billy barely turns as a long, steely blade rises high in the air. It strikes down with force, hitting his chest. As blood sprays the air, crimson red splatters across Sydney's face as the knife is thrust in and out of Billy, who tries hard to put up a fight, but it's useless. He never had a chance. His body falls to the floor, lifeless. The figure watches Billy's body come to a still before quietly, calmly turning their attention to Sydney, who stands numb, scared to death. And only when the ghost takes a step forward does Sydney break. She takes off like a rocket, leaping over the bed and out the door. Sydney tears out the door and down the hall, coated in Billy's blood. As the ghost catches up with her, grabbing hold of her collar, she pulls away from him, her shirt ripping down the back. Her hand finds a doorknob, and she goes for it, pulling the door open, moving quickly inside, locking it behind her. Total darkness. Sydney's hands scour the wall for a light switch. The doorknob turns. The lock holds as the door is nearly shaken from its hinges, and then nothing. All goes silent. Only Sydney's rapid breathing fills the space around her. Sydney, trembling, shaking, reaches above her, feeling until she finds a string. She pulls it as the light bulb flashes on overhead. She's in a small box of a room. The door is on one side, a small, narrow staircase on the other. She eyes the doorknob, then the staircase, contemplating. But it's not an easy decision. There's no fucking way she's going up to the attic. She unlocks the door and pushes on it, but it won't give. She pushes on it again. It's locked from the other side. Shit. She turns to the staircase. A long, deserted country road in the distance. A single flashlight beams ahead. The only light in the black of night. Gale and Dewey can be heard. So is Dewey your real name? Dwight. Dewey was something I got stuck with a long time ago. I like it. It's sexy. Nah, it's just this town's way of not taking me seriously. What about Gale Weathers? I sound like a meteorologist. Gale and Dewey are walking closely, side by side, flirtatiously. Gale is surprisingly nervous. People treat me like I'm the Antichrist of television journalism. I don't think you're so bad. Gale smiles. Are all the local boys as sweet as you? Dewey blushes. He starts to say something when headlights appear behind them. They both spin around as two cars loaded with teens come racing right past them. Dewey grabs Gale and pushes her off the road just as the cars speed by, oblivious to them. In the ditch, Gale lands face up with Dewey right on top of her. He steals a glance in her eyes before rolling off her. You okay? Something takes Gale's attention. What's that? Dewey looks to where Gale points. He finds a flashlight and aims it into the brush. The tall end of the car is just visible. Looks like a car. Dewey helps her up and then moves toward it. He shines the flashlight on the plate, but it's already obvious. Shit. This is Neil Prescott's car. Sydney's father? We gotta go back. Jesus, he's here. What the fuck is he doing here? Dewey is panicked. He grabs Gale and they race off down the road. Randy continues to watch the movie. He is now sloppy drunk, completely involved with the screen. Scary music swells, filling the room. No, Jamie, look behind you. Watch out, behind you. If he followed his own advice, he would see the ghost-masked figure that stands directly behind him, knife poised. Kenny finishes off a soda and crushes the can in his hand. He tosses it to the floor when a movement from the monitor catches his eye. On the monitor is Randy, still on the couch engrossed in the movie. Directly behind him, the ghost. Kenny does a double take. No fucking way. He watches as the ghost stands still, unmoving, nice, raised. Jesus, fuck! The ghost takes a silent step forward. Kenny screams at the monitor. Behind you, kid! Look behind you! This kid needs help. Kenny bolts out of his seat and goes for the side door. He slides it open and sticks his head out as a long, sharp blade comes at him, fast and furious, slicing into his throat. Kenny falls forward, out the door, as the ghost-masked figure is upon him. From the monitor, the ghost-masked figure turns away from Randy, leaving him unharmed, moving instead out the front door on a 30-second walk to the news van. The attic is long and narrow, cluttered with furniture, boxes, and the likes. Moonlight filters in through a small raised window on the front of the wall of the house. Sydney moves through the attic, bumping into this, knocking over that. She passes a dusty mirror, jumping at her own reflection. She cringes at her image, drenched in Billy's blood, the redness of it. She moves on, determined. She eyes the raised window above her, a way out, if she could only reach it. Gale and Dewey come running up the drive, frantic. I'll call for backup. I'll get my camera. They split up. Gale rushes to the news van, throwing open the door. Kenny, camera, quick! The van is empty. Kenny? A car horn goes off. Gale spins around. It came from the patrol jeep in the driveway. Gale calls out, Dewey? She moves across the yard to the jeep. The door hangs open. Dewey is nowhere to be found. Dewey? Where are you? A look of pure dread comes over Gale. Sydney has stacked object after object, building a ladder to the window. She climbs to the top, holding onto the window frame. She spots Gale almost immediately. She screams out, looking for the window latch. But there's not one. It doesn't open. Sydney starts beating on it, trying to break it. Gale, hanging tough, approaches the front door, unable to hear Sydney's screams 3 floors up. Gale reaches for the door, just as she hears loud, horrible shrieks from inside. She backs away. An ear-curdling Jamie Lee Curtis scream blasts through the empty living room as the horror movie on the TV comes to its horrifying climax. Randy is now gone. Gale races across the yard, putting distance between her and the house. She moves back to the van. Sydney has found an old tennis racket. She swings a solid forehand at the window as it sprays glass. Sydney moves quickly, lifting herself up over broken glass and pulling herself through the window frame. Sydney wastes no time. She looks for Gale, screaming, but Gale is gone. Sid lowers herself down the ledge, sliding down a sloped portion of the roof onto the master bedroom's balcony. Then she eases herself over the railing and lowers herself, letting herself hang as low as she can. Then she lets go, free-falling the rest of the way. But in a split instant, the ghost appears, grabbing her wrist in midair. Her body hangs, dangling against the side of the house. The ghost begins to lift her, pulling her back onto the balcony. Sydney jerks, pulls, twists, but the hands have her, hoisting her up. Sydney screams madly, yanking one last time, freeing herself. She drops to the ground, a good 7 feet, landing on her back, hitting hard. She grabs at a pained leg and brings herself upright. Gale is frantic. She starts the engine up and hits the headlights when she discovers she can't see out of the windshield. Gale rubs the glass. Sure enough, something is on the windshield outside, blocking her sight. Gale hits the wipers as blood smears across the glass. It drips from above. Gale screams as a hand reaches in through the open window. She looks up to see Randy, staring at her madly. "What's going on?" A sheer moment of fear as Gale hits the gas, plummeting the car forward into a ditch. She hits the brakes. Randy is thrown forward from the van. Gale reverses, backs up, hits the brakes. Again, just as Kenny's face comes sliding down the outside of the windshield, eyes wide, face distorted, blood everywhere. Gale hits the gas and yanks the wheel, sending Kenny's corpse flying off the top of the van. Gale spins the van around onto the road, hits the gas madly, gaining speed, just as Sydney appears in the middle of the road, drenched in blood. Gale swerves to miss her, but she turns too sharp and the van veers off the road at top speed, flipping over on its side, sliding off into the thick foliage. Sydney races to where the van lay on its side. Sydney peers through the windshield. Gale's body lay limp and bloody. Sydney cries out, turning, limping to the driveway. She sees the patrol jeep with its open door. She goes for it. Sydney hops in, reaches for the ignition. No keys. Shit. Just then, Sydney's eyes go to the front porch. She watches the front door opens, and a figure appears in the darkness, undetectable. Sydney throws the headlights, illuminating the side of the house, revealing Dewey standing in the doorway. "Dewey?" Sydney opens the Jeep door, moving to him, noticing his body slumped, knees buckled, and then his body falls forward, slowly, deliberately hitting the porch hard. Standing behind him is the ghost. "No!" Sid jumps back inside the Jeep, closing the door, locking it. She reaches over and locks the passenger's doors, and then she waits, and watches as the ghost leans over Dewey's still body, fumbling with something. Then the figure stands upright. In his hands, he holds the keys. They jingle in the wind, the ghost toying with her, enjoying this. Sydney, hysterical, locks eyes with the figure as he moves to the door. Sydney leaps on it, holding the lock down, making it impossible to unlock. Her face is pressed against the glass, inches from the masked figure. She uses every ounce of strength when the ghost disappears, dropping down below the window, out of her view. Sydney moves to the center of the Jeep, trying hard to listen over her own rapid breathing, every sound amplified. Then she hears it, the soft jingling of keys near the passenger's side door. She pounces on the lock, holding it down. A shadow cuts the beam of headlights, unseen by Sydney. The lock turns on the other side. Sydney leaps over and holds it down, securing it. This is beyond nerve-wracking. Sydney is certifiable. Her eyes spot the police radio for the first time. She grabs the mouthpiece and presses the switch. "Help! Please! I'm at Stu Mocker's house on Turner Lane! Please, he's gonna kill me!" The ghost reaches out and grabs hold of Sydney's neck from behind tailgate. from behind the tailgate door, which stands open. Sydney, with surprising strength, spins around and attacks the ghost. She falls back against the dash, legs out, kicking wildly at the figure. Her hand reaches for the door, finds the lock, the door lever. She pulls the door as it swings open. Sydney falls out of the door, hitting the ground. Sydney, on her stomach, squirms away from the Jeep. She brings herself up to her hands and knees, looking behind her to see nothing. The ghost has disappeared. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 15, Go a Little Mad. Sydney's eyes roam the yard, but the ghost's nowhere, completely gone, vanished. Sydney crawls to the front porch where Dewey's body lay. Thinking quickly, precisely, she reaches for Dewey's holster and grabs his gun, when a voice echoes out behind her. Sydney! She turns to see Randy racing to her, limping. He appears stone cold sober. Jesus, Sid, we gotta get out of here. Sydney throws the gun forward. Stop right there. Don't shoot, it's me. Don't come any closer. Listen to me, Sid, I found Tatum. She's dead, she's been killed. I think Stu did it. He takes a step forward when another voice speaks up. Don't believe him, Sid. Sydney spins around to see Stu moving up the walk. He's lying. He killed Tatum and Billy. Stu moves closer to Sydney. Stay away. She aims the gun in his direction. His movie nut mind snaps, Sid. He's gone psycho. Don't listen to him. It's him. He's the one. Sydney has lost it. She doesn't know who to trust. She aims the gun at Stu, then Randy, then Stu. Stu gets closer. Come on, Sid. Give me the gun. No, Sid. They both move toward her. There's no time. She must act now, finally. Fuck you both. Sydney steps back into the house and slams the front door shut. Sid locks and bolts the door. From the other side, she can hear Randy screaming, No, Sid, open up, Sid, please! He's gone crazy! His fist pounds against the door. Sydney, stumbling in the darkness, rushes to the phone in the living room. Just as she reaches for it, it rings. It scares the life out of her. She screams, yanking it up. Please, God, help me! Having fun, Sydney? Sydney falls apart screaming, No! She throws the phone down, disconnecting the call. Sid moves back to the door. Randy's screams are maddening. She eyes the lock deliberately. Leave me alone! Clunk. A noise upstairs. Sydney looks up the staircase, into the darkness, her face shocked to see Billy emerging from the shadows, stumbling down the stairs, very much alive. Oh God, Billy! His blood soaked and dazed. Sydney meets him at the landing, grabbing him, holding him. I thought you were... I'm alright. Gotta get help. Billy goes for the door. He's out there. Randy continues pounding on the door, screaming at the top of his lungs. Please, you gotta let me in. He's gonna kill me. Billy goes for the door. Sydney blocks him. No, don't believe him. It's okay. Give me the gun. Sydney hands him the gun. Billy turns and unlocks the door, opening it. Randy rushes in, grabbing Billy, pleading, Help me. Shh, it's okay. Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad. Slowly, a mad smile creeps across Billy's face. We all go a little mad sometimes. Randy squints, confused, as Billy aims the gun at Randy, and he pulls the trigger. But the blast throws Randy's body against the wall before sliding to a heap on the floor, still, with a smile on his face. Anthony Perkins, psycho. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 16, You Took My Mother. Billy turns to Sydney, who stands only feet away, face aghast. Fuck no, this can't be happening. Billy's eyes are on her, unmoving. He sticks his tongue out and slowly licks the blood dry to his face, tasting it. Corn syrup. Same stuff they use for pig's blood in Carrie. Sydney is dumbfounded. Slowly, she takes a step back, moving into the dark confines of the kitchen. Billy lurches forward in a fake-out, baiting her. She takes another step back, petrified. Billy's face is no longer familiar to Sydney. There is something inhuman now about his features. His expression is pure evil. She takes another step back, shrinking into the dark kitchen. She continues to back up, moving right into the arms of Stu. Sydney spins around, her mouth open in speechless horror. Stu, please, you gotta help me. Stu stares back at her, eyes wide, lips curled in a subtle smile as he holds a small compact cellular phone up to his face. Stu whispers into the phone. Surprise, Sydney. His voice sounds affected now, the voice of the killer. Sydney looks back to Billy, then to Sue, then to Billy again. It's become all too clear. She stands between them, her mind racing, calculating. She bolts into the living room, if for no other reason than to put some distance between her and them. They stand in the entryway, trapping her in. Where are you going? It's not over yet. We've got one more surprise. Stu, I believe it's your turn? Oh yeah, Stu disappears into the kitchen. What's wrong, Sid? Look like you've seen a ghost. Sydney stands, trying hard to hold a calm resolve. A noise comes from the kitchen, a low, dragging sound. Stu reappears from the front hall, wrestling with something. No, someone. Stu has a body in tow. He thrusts it forward, and it rolls into the living room. Sydney looks down to find her father bound and gagged, his eyes wide in fear, very much alive. Daddy! She starts for him. Close enough. Stu places the cellular phone in Mr. Prescott's shirt pocket. Guess I won't be needing this anymore. Why are you doing this? It's all part of the game. It's called Guess How I'm Gonna Die! Fuck you! No, we already played that game. You lost, remember? You have to play, Sid. Don't want to disappoint your dad. He's been waiting around for days. Billy to Sydney. It's an easy game. We ask you a question, and if you get it wrong, you die. And if you get it right, you die. You're crazy, both of you. The official term is psychotic. You'll never get away with this. Tell that to Cotton Weary. You wouldn't believe how easy he was to frame. You see, Sid, we just watched a few movies, took a few notes, it was fun. Billy and Stu relish their madness, proud of themselves. Sydney looks to her dad, sees tears in his eyes. She looks back to Billy, unflinching, a determined look on his face. Why did you kill my mother? Why? Why? Did you hear that, Stu? I think she wants a motive. Sid, I mean, did Norman Bates have a motive? And did they really ever explain why Hannibal Lecter liked to eat people? Don't think so. You see, it's scarier when there's no motive, Sid. Sydney fighting back tears. I don't understand. We did your mom a favor, Sid. The woman was a slutbag whore who flashed her shit all over town like she was Sharon Stone. Stu laughing. So we put her out of her misery. I mean, let's face it, your mom was no Sharon Stone. Stu cracks up over this while Billy turns very serious. Is that motive enough for you? Or how about this? Your slut mother was fucking my father. She's the reason my mom moved out and abandoned me. A sudden silence. Sydney is rigid with shock, his words resonant with truth. What? Even Stu is surprised with his seriousness. Think about it. On the off chance I get caught, a motive like that could divide a jury for years. You took my mother, so I took yours. Big sympathy factor. Maternal abandonment causes serious deviant behavior. It certainly fucked you up. It made you sleep with a psychopath. That's right. Now you're no longer a virgin. You gotta die. Those are the rules. Billy sits the gun down on the table near the foyer, and then he moves to Sydney with the butcher knife in hand. Pretend this is all just a scary movie, Sid. How do you think it's gonna end? Sydney doesn't respond. Stu excited. This is the best part, Sid. Billy's got it all figured out. Why do you think we kept your father alive so long? Why did we save you for last? You know what time it is, Sid? It's after midnight. It's your mother's anniversary. We killed her exactly 1 year ago today. Billy turns to Stu with the knife. They eye each other. Ready? Yeah. Billy pulls the knife back and brings it forward quickly, slicing into Stu. He stumbles to his knees, wincing in pain. Jesus! Sydney screams as blood gushes. Real blood, a dark, deep red. Stu inspects the wound to his side, then he smiles. Good one. My turn. He takes the knife from Billy. Don't forget to stay to the side and don't go too deep. Stu stabs at Billy's belly, puncturing him. Billy doubles over. Jesus fuck, Stu! Billy's squelching in pain. Got the ending figured out? Time's running out. Come on, Sid, think about it. Your father's the chief suspect. We used his cellular. The evidence is all there. Billy takes the knife and slashes at Stu's arm. 2 quick cuts. He doubles over. What if your father snapped? Your mom's anniversary set him off and he went on a murder spree, killing everyone. Stu in major pain. Except for me and Billy.
and we were left for dead. And then he kills you, and then shoots himself in the head. Perfect ending. Everybody dies but us. We get to carry on and plan the sequel. Let's face it, these days you gotta have a sequel. Stu takes the knife and cuts at Billy. You sick fucks, you've seen one too many movies. Billy looks at her, bent over, crazed. Oh, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies just make psychos more creative. Stu staggers a bit. That's it, Billy, I can't take it anymore. I'm feeling a little woozy here. Get the gun. I'll untie Pops. Billy moves to Sidney's father. Houston, we have a problem. What? The gun, man, it's gone. Billy hobbles over. The gun is gone. Where the fuck is it? Right here, asshole. Billy and Stu look up in unison to see Gale Weathers standing in front of the doorway, gun in hand. The Woodsboro Murders, an audio drama reading by Stargazer. Chapter 17. This is for my mother. I thought she was dead. She looks dead, man, still does. Gale holds the gun firm in total control. I've got an ending for you. The reporter left for dead and the news van comes to. Stumbles upon you two dipshits, finds the gun, fumbles your plans, and saves the day. Sidney steps forward. I like that ending. In a mad rush, they storm Gale, heading straight at her. She pulls the trigger, but nothing happens. Safety is on. Billy charges forward, grabbing hold of the front door, slamming it shut. It catches Gale in the face, knocking her backward. Out the door. She goes down, out. Billy steps out the front door and retrieves the gun from where Gale lays. Then he turns back inside the house to find Sidney gone. Where did she go? Stu looks around, staggering now, bleeding heavily. Sidney has completely disappeared. Only her father, bound and gagged, remains in the living room. I don't know, Billy, but I'm hurting. Where the fuck did she go? Suddenly the phone rings. Billy and Stu look at each other, completely surprised. Billy scrambles over the phone. Hello? Are you alone in the house? Billy looks to Mr. Prescott. The cellular phone is gone. You bitch! Where the fuck are you? Not so fast. We're gonna play a little game. It's called Guess Who Just Called the Motherfucking Police and Reported Your Sorry Motherfucking Ass! Billy looks around the living room. Find her, you fuck! Billy is fuming now, slightly staggering and starting to lose it. He screams at Stu, who has fallen to his knees. Find her, you dipshit! I can't, man. You cut me too deep. I think I'm dying. Billy throws the phone at Stu. He mouths to him, so Sid can't hear him. Talk to her. Then Billy takes off for the kitchen. Stu takes the phone. So, Stu, what's your motive? Billy's got one. The police are on the way. What are you going to tell them? Peer pressure. I'm way too sensitive. Billy flies back in the room, grabbing the phone from Stu. He's completely nuts now, staggering, bleeding, totally insane. I'm going to rip you, you bitch, just like your fucking mother! Gotta find me first, you pansy-ass mama's boy. Billy starts ripping the room up, overturning furniture in a mad fit of rage. When he notices the hall closet, he smiles deliriously, heading for it. Ripping it open as a ghost mask figure strikes from within with an umbrella, the sharp end hitting him in the chest as it fans out. Billy stumbles back, stunned, as the ghost comes at him again. The umbrella lodges in his chest and he goes down. Sidney rips the ghost mask off her head. She looks at Billy, disgusted, throwing the mask on Billy's now still body. A movement behind her sends her reeling to find Randy slowly sitting up, his body drenched in blood. He's alive, barely. He looks to Sidney through pain. I never thought I'd be so happy to be a virgin. Randy manages to stand when a figure comes leaping at him, completely unexpected. It's Stu barreling into him. They fall back into the living room. Sidney grabs the gun next to Billy and turns to the living room to find Randy and Stu rolling across the floor in a deadlock, fighting, both seriously injured. Sid tries to find aim when a hand grabs hold of her ankle, toppling her to the floor. Once again, she finds Billy on top of her. Randy and Stu pound at each other, beating and clawing, as Sidney fights viciously, attacking with everything she's got. Randy is desperately trying to pry away from Stu. He grabs hold of the TV set and tries to pull himself off the floor out of Stu's clutch. His hand finds the top of the TV. The VCR, he yanks it, gripping it with his hands, bringing it down with force, crashing the VCR into Stu's head. Stu drops. Sidney digs her hand into Billy's open chest wound. He cries out bloody murder. Her other hand brings the gun up to his face.
but he headbutts it out the front door. A flash of silver appears above Sydney. Billy grabbed the butcher knife. He rises it high above Sydney, ready to strike, when a bullet rips through the foyer, striking Billy, knocking him back into the living room. Sydney looks up to see Gale Weathers, holding the gun in a death grip as smoke rises above the gun's chamber. Sydney sits up as Gale moves to her, helping her. Their eyes meet, a life truce. Billy and Stu lay face up, head to head. Sid and Gale move over them, staring down. Randy joins them. Careful. This is the moment when the seemingly dead killer comes back for one last scare. Sydney grabs the gun from Gale. She positions her foot on Stu's chest and aims. She shoots him in the forehead, a clean and perfect shot. Then she aims the barrel at Billy, whose eyes slowly open, blinking up at her. Blood bubbling from his lips, their eyes lock. This is for my mom, asshole. She fires another perfect shot. They're both goners. Sydney drops the smoking gun, standing silent over the bodies. A quiet moment when suddenly a figure lunges at them. Sid, Gale, and Randy scream as Mr. Prescott leaps forward, still bound and gagged. Sid catches her breath, relaxing. Oh, Dad. She rushes to him, untying him and grabbing hold of him tight. Chapter 18. Sunrise. Sun rises. Gale Weathers, disheveled, stands firmly and naturally in front of the camera. Okay, I think it's gonna go a little something like this. Just stay with me. Hi, this is Gale Weathers with an exclusive eyewitness account of this amazing breaking story. Several more local teens are dead, bringing to an end this harrowing mystery of the mass killings that have terrified this peaceful community like the plot of some scary movie. It all began with a scream over 911 and ended in a bloodbath that has rocked this town's little world. All played out here in this peaceful farmhouse, far from the crime and the sirens of the larger cities that these residents have fled. Okay, let's take it back to one. Come on, move it. This is my big shot. Let's go. The sun shines brilliantly over the vast and beautiful valley.